Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Bird, Nick, and today, boy, you guys have called the hotline a lot. I've been racking up calls, evidently, so we're going to do another Ask the Pulpit episode today. You know, it's funny, feast or famine. Sometimes when I need the calls, you guys are being quiet, and I have to go onto the Facebook parishioners group and tell you all to, give me a ring and help me out. But other times, you guys just jump at the opportunity, and by God, I love it. I love it because, like I said, I enjoy these episodes because it's a little bit of interaction back and forth, and you guys make the questions fun, and I appreciate that. So before we do that, though, let's fire up a cigar. So today I will be smoking the 1985. It's the 1985 Churchill. It's actually a 7.5 by 50, so I guess it's not a technical Churchill, but the lengthwise it works. But it's a 7.5 by 50, and the only information I could find is that it's a natural. So I could not find a makeup of the cigar for you, but it comes to us from Two Guys Cigars, and it is commemorating their 40th anniversary in business. And the cigar was packed in a video rental box because it commemorates the fact that Two Guys was started in the old Video Barn location in 1985 after the Video Barn outgrew the space. And so Dave and the crew, they took over the old Video Barn, and Two Guys Smoke Shop was started. So anyway, if you head on over to twoguyscigars.com, which, might as well talk about that now, you can pick up the 1985. They do still have some on the website available for sale. A 5-pack is $59.99, but if you buy 2 of them at the same time, the price drops down to $99.99, making it, $10 a cigar. So that's not bad. It's not bad. And and as you can tell, this box is empty with the exception of the one that I have here. So I have smoked some, and I enjoy them. And so, we're gonna get to that. But first we have to cut the cigar. And the official cutting is brought to you by who else but twoguyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Two Guys have been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family-owned and operated, twoguyscigars.com does the best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. I actually tacked on 2 of these 5-packs. I did the 2 for $100 deal, and I tacked on 2 of them to my show pack, and they arrived, and it was a nice little treat there. But head on over to twoguyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. And remember, that's the number 2guyscigars.com. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. Ooh, that was a good one. Every once in a while, I like it when I actually can nail the cut noise and it comes through well. It makes me feel good. So anyway, we're going to give this guy a cut here. And boy, it has been busy. I feel like it's been forever since I've recorded one of these things. I had, obviously, the PulpitFest episode come out, I guess it'll be a week ago. And, I did that, that came out that Friday. I recorded that the week prior, essentially, over the weekend prior, during PulpitFest. And, I can't believe it's been 2 weeks since that. And then, I recorded with Sean pretty much right away after I got back from PulpitFest. Got that episode recorded up and scheduled out. So it's been a minute. And it feels rusty. I'm feeling rusty right now. So this is why I'm glad we're doing an Ask the Pulpit episode. It's a little more casual, a little more chill. You can just kind of hang out and have a good time. So anyway, I have cut my cigar. Gonna give this guy a cold draw here. And okay. I just had dinner, so it tastes like, turkey sandwich. So, not really, but, little maybe barnyardish going on here. So, anyway, while I light the cigar, why don't we hear the greatest commercial you've ever heard?
Some say cigars are all the same. It's just not true. It's you I have to blame.
Well, I don't know, 'cause what I know, there is a cigar called Aladino Corojo.
Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. They say authentic, so we're not confused, while the others say it's a word that's just abused.
I guess that's so. They can't compete. At least I'm sure Aladino can't be beat.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Cigars uses authentic Corojo tobacco from JRE Tobacco. This is the greatest commercial you ever heard. Yeah.
For those of you who are at PulpitFest, you should have your kazoos, and that was a lot of fun doing the kazoo-a-thon, or kazoo-along. I guess it was a kazoo-along. We played the ad, and everybody played their kazoos along with the song. It was fun. It was nice. And if you want to get your own kazoo, Dave was doing a deal on twoguyscigars.com to get your own kazoo with the purchase of some Aladino cigars. So I don't know the details of that, but I remember hearing about it on the show. So go back and listen to the Cigar Authority, and you might be able to find out how to get your own kazoo. So anyway, moving on, let's go ahead and start the Ask the Pulpit.
Shall we play a game?
You talking to me? I have a question for you.
You gotta ask me nicely.
Ask me about my winner!
You got a question? You ask the 8-ball.
Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on indeed. So, guys, if you want to get your calls in to the hotline so you can be on a future installment, you can give us a call at area code 863-874-0000. That's 863-874-0000. And we will go ahead and kick this off with the first call here. And, yeah. Here we go. All right. Maybe.
What's up, Nick?
What's up, Dakota?
This is Dakota. I'm calling, and I've called a lot, but it's just perfect. So on the episode with you and Pinky, y'all mentioned that you're wondering why we don't lay eggs. And
humans.
And there's a reason that we don't lay eggs. So really what happens when we give life, or women give live birth, right, is that there is a lifeline, a physical, actual lifeline, the umbilical cord, that when the mother-to-be eats food, the nutrients are dispersed throughout her body and her child's body, right? And all of these things help her produce this child and help the child grow.
Yes.
So all of the food is being provided by the mother by her eating, right?
Yes.
So in an egg, the yolk, the amniotic sac, all that stuff is in there to feed this baby whatever's in the baby. Let's say chicken, right? It feeds this little embryo to become a full-size chick.
Okay.
And all of the food that it needs for that entire process from embryo to baby chick is already in the egg. So if people were to do that, if ladies were supposed to lay eggs big enough that would include all of the nutrients already in the egg, first of all, it would be about impossible to get all those nutrients necessary in you at one time. And second, the egg would be like the size of a large SUV. which cannot be good. I mean, look at the kiwi, man. The kiwi's egg is about a third of the size of its body, and that's struggle enough. So, absolutely crazy information right there. But yeah, that's why.
All right.
Peace.
You know, I'm liking this. I've got my nature and science expert here on call here. You know, that's a very valid point. I didn't consider the fact that the size of a human baby, and given the fact that it is, you know, developing, I was going to say gestating, but we'll say developing for 9 months, you know, on average, or give or take, the amount of nutrients and food it would need to develop up to the point that it's ready for birth, boy, that would require a lot of food inside that egg, and that would make that egg really big. And I can only imagine what all of the women listening to this are thinking if they've had a child and they now are considering if it would have been a child that hatched from an egg, what if they had to carry an egg the size of a small SUV? I just, you know, yeah, I think I don't know. I guess, Dakota, what it really boils down to is you and I, at least in this regard, we were, you know, I was going to say one thing, but I think instead of saying what I was going to say, I think what I'll say is women have it very hard. And I think a little acknowledgement of that goes a long way. So anyway, we thank you for the information about why we don't like eggs. So next call here.
Hey, Nick, it's Paul from Texas.
What's up, Paul?
I think like a month ago or two or something, I sent you a text message saying that I'm not going to be watching as many shows because I will be taking a lot of time off to study for a promotional exam. And so I did that. I took my promotional exam. And I scored at the very top, so everything's good.
Rock on!
Back to the real world. But that to say, anytime I've studied for promotional exams in the past, you know, you study for like 15 minutes and then you need a break. Like, give me a 1 minute, 2 minute break just to do something else, to reset. And that's how I got into cigars, because a decade ago, whenever I started studying for a promotional exam, I would take a break and I would watch Cigar Obsession. And so it would be like a 5-minute video of him reviewing a cigar. So while I was doing these little study breaks, I'd be like, oh, man, it's so relaxing watching him do a cigar. And so what I fell into this time on my study breaks is, you ready for this? Because you guys are going to make fun of me. Pokemon cards.
Oh, shit.
So there's this guy called Short Pocket Monsters or Deep Pocket Monsters or something like that.
You got to watch Pocket Monsters.
Like he opens up Pokemon packs. And, you know, the whole thing to it is inside those packs, there's like a super secret rare card every once in a while. Super valuable and all that. So I just started watching these little Pokemon card opening things for my study breaks, and I got into Pokemon. I bought my first pack today. I opened it up, and it had like a $20 card in there.
Nice.
So made money automatically. It was very pretty and all that. Question to you. You collect Pokemon. Does your son do it? What do you think about it? Glad to be back. Glad to be listening to the shows. Talk to you later.
You know, dude, I am aware of Pokemon cards. You can't travel in the nerd circles that I travel in and not encounter the Pokemon cards. And you know what really is so bizarre to me right now is there was a fairly lengthy period of time that it seems like Pokemon cards were kind of like no big deal anymore. You know, they were around and easily found and plentiful. And I don't know when this new obsession with them kind of kicked off, but it did. And now they're like this big deal and they're worth so much. And I guess it's just the roller coaster of collecting and valuables and things of that nature. Because, you know, obviously back when they first came out, you know, they were the big craze. And then it just kind of, like I said, there were peaks and valleys. And we're definitely at a peak right now. But anyway, no, I never got into Pokemon. Pokemon was definitely something that was, I was a little bit, I was not the target demographic for Pokemon when it came out. And then from there, I just kind of always stayed just quote unquote too old for Pokemon. It was just not one of the, I didn't grow up with it, and so it wasn't like a thing that I was into. You know, I remember when the game on the phone came out back, part of me wants to say a couple of summers ago, but holy shit, I think it's been more like nearly 10 years ago. Whenever Pokemon Go came out, I remember that summer, my newspaper staff, I had one reporter and I had like 3 or 4 interns, and the interns were, you know, college age. And oh my God, they were all into that game. Just so into that game. And there was just so much going on with it. And running around all over the place and doing this and capturing this. And then at one point, they like convinced me that they wanted to do an article about it. And I'm like, seriously? And I forced them to, you know, to tie it into local businesses, that they had to go to local businesses and talk to them about, have you seen an increase in foot traffic because of this game, because your restaurant or your mural on your wall or whatever it was designated, I think it was like a stop or a gym or something like that in the game. I don't remember. But anyway, I remember that summer pretty vividly. And I don't remember how long ago that was, though. I mean, Max was born, so it had to have been at least 2016. Maybe it was 17. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, there was that summer. But honestly, yeah, Pokemon's just one of those things. It just kind of never really hit the right time for me to be into it. And my son, you know, no, he's I can't say that he's particularly into Pokemon. But you know, we collect the Thomas trains. So, you know, I have multiple versions of both Thomas and Percy, as well as, you know, Rebecca and James and Gordon and what's the one? Toby. He's the square one. Yeah. So anyway, sorry, man. I can't help you on that. But congratulations on the test. Congratulations on the pulling of the $20 Pokemon card from your first pack. And, you know, that's both a good thing, and also it's definitely one of those, you know, things. It's like, oh, you hit a jackpot on the first pull of the slot machine. So now they've got you. Now you're going back for more. So anyway, so good luck with the Pokemon. So. Good to hear from you, Paul. Next time I wanted you to come down to PulpitFest, man. I mean, they had timed out with you with your test that it couldn't work out. You had too much work stuff going on, but no, we're gonna get you down there October 1st through the 4th next year. So anyway, let's do the next call here.
Hey, Nick, it's James, the delivery guy.
What up, James?
I'm actually on road, but I just finished your most recent episode. Don't worry, I'm on Bluetooth, so hands-free.
Good.
Both hands on the wheel, because professional delivery guy.
Safe driving.
Anyway, the 3 people I'd like to smoke a cigar with, living or dead, that are not famous or at least have been encountered by me in real life, would be George Bueller of the Raiders. My mom used to babysit his kids because I was born in Oakland, California. I now live in Northern California for, you know, safety and sanity's sake. And then my paternal grandfather, my dad's dad, was a pack-a-day and gallon of whiskey per week smoker and drinker. And he made it to 85, so I got to know him pretty well, but I think it would be even better to know him better. So to sit down and smoke a cigar with him.
Okay.
And then the third person would actually be you. Yeah, I've met you in passing, but we haven't like sat down and shot the shit. So that would be something I think would be awesome. So yeah, again, this is James, the delivery guy, and those are my 3 people I'd like to have a cigar with.
Oh.
All right, you stay smoky. Bye.
Well, James, I'm honored. I'm honored to make the list there, and you know, we'll make that happen. I think Yeah, I mean, yeah, that can happen at some point. I'm pretty sure. Hang on a second. Let me. The damn transcriptions on these things are so horrible. I don't know, but anyway, I feel like you and I met. Was it at an expo? At the New England Cigar Expo, or I don't know, but for those of you who are thinking that I'm going to be at that, by the way, I unfortunately am not making the New England Cigar Expo this year. Schedule-wise, it didn't work out. It was a little close to PulpitFest, so finances are tight with 2 trips like that back to back, and then B, without getting into the details, that is my weekend with my son, which I love my weekends with my son, but my ex-wife was unable to switch the weekends due to a schedule conflict of hers. And so she was unable to accept a schedule change for that weekend. And like I said, I won't get into the specifics, but yeah, it just didn't work out this year. But I'm going to miss it because something tells me that for the 40th anniversary, it's going to be a big deal and it's going to be fun. So James, if it was at the expo that we met, I'm sorry I'm not going to be there this year if you are. And otherwise, yeah, I'm sure we can make that happen. I mean, worst case scenario, maybe, ooh, you know what? I wonder if we could order something to be delivered to PulpitFest next year from Northern California, and you just have to drive cross country and deliver it in person. I mean, that would kind of suck for you. That'd be a hell of a... You definitely get the prize for furthest traveled. But I mean, it'd be business trip at least. You can write it off. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate the inclusion on your list. That's very, very nice of you. All right, we have another call here. What's going on? Somebody called.
Hey, Nick, Hank calling you from Cigar.
Wait, what? Oh, Hank. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's obviously Hank. So.
Hey, Nick, Hank again. I guess the storm here in Palm Coast must have caused me to drop my call. But I want to thank you, Ken, and everyone for a fantastic weekend. You guys stepped up from last year, and I'm looking forward to the coming year. And especially your sponsors, Villiger and Aladino. They just made it a wonderful weekend, and can not ask for anything better than that. Again, thank you, and have a wonderful day, and thank you for a great weekend.
Aw, Hank, that was very nice of you. And, look, we do what we do. We plan what we plan. We put out what we do. And, we have things organized for y'all. But realistically, the event only works when people show up. And people show up and they take part and they embrace the social side, but also embrace kind of the wacky side. Like come on, let's be real. Who wants to sit and fast smoke a Villiger export in this case 3 minutes 24 seconds? Quite a few of you pitched in to do that, and I mean, you embrace the wackiness of it. It's fun. Hank, you've won the Long Ash contest 2 years in a row. Who wants to sit and work on a cigar like that for that long? Evidently you do. But there's quite a few of you that take part in that. And I like that. I appreciate that because it's one of those things. Like I said, I can plan and I can schedule and I can do whatever I want to do. But if none of you take part in it, if none of you even, if I throw a party and none of you show up, it's not much of a party. So, Hank, I appreciate the thought and the thanks, but thank you for coming. And also, again, I can't stress this enough. Thank you for doing your part as an attendee. I've talked about the whole circle of life of the events and everything like that. And Hank, you spend well when you're at the Ash and Ale. you purchase product, which then helps Ken, and then in turn that helps Verde and Villiger, and it helps Justo and Aladino, because you're buying product through Ken from them. And so everybody wins in that case. But then in addition, you stepped up big time for Vincent's Clubhouse. And I really want to thank you for that too, because, I've said it on the show. That's a nonprofit, a charity that is special to me because of, my son and everything. And I got to hang out with some of those guys over, guys, gals, some of the members over there. And, they're super nice people. And I really think what they're doing is awesome. In fact, little anecdote real quick about Vincent's Clubhouse. So there's a guy named Adam that's over there, and I've met Adam. And Adam he's an artist, and he loves drawing like pop culture characters, cartoon characters, things like that. He's an artist, and he likes drawing this stuff. And he does what he calls these pop culture mashups, where he'll take like a cartoon character from one show and have them interacting with a cartoon character from another show. And it's like, oh my gosh, they're in the same universe and they're interacting and everything. And it's fun. Well, I guess just the other evening at the European Village, they had like an outdoor event. It was like a wine tasting thing, and folks came from all over to come and walk around to the different retail shops and restaurants and things of that nature, bars and whatnot in the European Village, and try different wines. And Vincent's Clubhouse put out a table, and they showcased Adam and his artwork. And Adam sat there, and he had a portfolio, and he showed everybody his artwork and everything. And apparently it was just an amazing experience. He had so much fun. You would have thought it was like a display of art from the New York Metropolitan, Museum of Art and everything like that. He just had a wonderful time, and everybody was very receptive. And I thought it was really cool because it's a very social thing for Adam to do and all that. And so, but it went really, really well. And, but Hank, back to my original point, these are super special people, and I thank you for helping them out with your generosity during the event. And anyway, so no, Hank, I will humbly accept your call, but at the same time, buddy, it's guys like you that make Pulpit Fest fun and special. So I appreciate you coming out and doing so. Okay, let's do another call here.
Hey, Nick, this is Tyler from York, PA.
What up, Tyler?
I'm sitting here having a Arturo Fuente Eye of the Shark, and I don't know if you've ever came across this, but I think this is going to be the last time I ever smoke an Arturo Fuente.
Ooh.
To me, personally, I like bigger ring gauge cigars, and they don't really make bigger ring gauge cigars. And honestly, they don't really have the nicotine content in them that I look for.
Okay.
So I think this is going to be my last time smoking an Arturo Fuente. So I was wondering if you or anybody else out there, do you guys have cigars that from certain companies you just don't smoke anymore? I'd love to get your guys' feedback. Stay smoky, guys. Later.
It's an interesting question, because I'm sitting here thinking, is there a specific cigar that I've given up on? And I can't say that there's one that I purposely have given up on, that I've said, you know what, other than Gurkha, where it's like, no, I'm done with this cigar. I'm not going to do this anymore. That kind of thing. One that I actively avoid. I've talked on the show before about my thing with Fuente and their branding, on their cigars, and how I find it difficult to tell one from another because their bands and everything look so similar. And I've got a guy that I do desperately need to, reach out to and see if I can get him back on the show, so that we can talk about that. Now, I do know Fuente does make some stronger cigars. They're not all completely, weak. There are some that, like all brands, they have Connecticut's and they have Naturals and Maduros and whatnot. So I do know that Fuente does make, the Don Carlos is a fantastic cigar. And I would not classify that as a weak cigar by any means. But it's not exactly a cheap date, so it's not one that you can be smoking on the regular. So I understand if Fuente as a brand just maybe isn't, giving you what you want, that you're going to move on. I mean, it does happen, I don't smoke a lot of Davidoffs, mostly due to the price point, but at the same time also there's just there's only a few that really give me the smoking experience that I'm looking for. The Nicaragua, the late hour, and I will say that Davidoff Maduro, that is a fine cigar. I do enjoy that. But like their normal, the classic and whatever, they tend to be a little too light for me, and that's not a knock against the cigar itself. It's just a knock. It's just that it doesn't fit my flavor profile or my smoking profile. In which case, there's nothing wrong per se with Fuente. It's just not scratching where you itch, and I think that's fair. And it's something that you and we all learn as smokers. We smoke around the humidor and we find what we like and we find what we don't like. But like, is there one that I have encountered that I used to like and don't anymore? It would require such a drastic change, both in the makeup of the cigar, but then also in my own personal smoking habit, that I haven't necessarily encountered. I mean, there are ones that I used to smoke on the regular that I barely smoke anymore. Like, I'll tell you, the Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real, the red band Romeo and Juliet. I used to smoke that like crazy. I mean, I was buying it by the fistful. That was like one of my go-to, like I was only really smoking that for a while. But that was very early in my smoking. And then I expanded out, found other flavors, other wrappers. And, gosh, I can't tell you the last time I smoked a red band Romeo y Julieta. Only just because it just doesn't quite fit my flavor or my smoking profile anymore. It's like I was saying about the Pokemon cards earlier. It's like I'm not the target demographic. Those cigars, I'm not the target demographic for those cigars. It's just not for me, and that's fine. So anyway, I'm sorry that the Fuente, aren't doing it for you anymore. If you're looking for bigger ring gauge, God knows there's plenty of that out there. If you're looking for something with more nicotine in it and a bigger ring gauge, it seems like those two things tend to go hand in hand as well. So you should be able to find plenty to experiment and try. So, pardon me. Anyway, that'd be my recommendation. So anyway, moving on to another call here. We got another call. Bam.
Good morning, Nick Miller. How are you? This is Chris from Norman, Oklahoma.
I'm good, Chris.
I am going to tell you that your Blackbird segment about Gary England, the meteorologist from Oklahoma City. First off, if you've ever seen the first Twister movie, he is the weatherman in Twister. Not the second one, the first one. Gary England was the actual weatherman in the first movie, Twister. Second off, dude in Oklahoma, Gary England there's basically God, Barry Switzer, and Gary England, okay?
Okay.
He was the highest paid meteorologist in the nation, and he worked in Oklahoma City. The guy was phenomenal. He came up with so many different, he actually invented weather radar types signals and refractions and all of this stuff. He's a phenomenal dude when it comes to weather. But also, I'm actually listening right now to you and Noah talk about testosterone. Get it checked. It is a specific test that you have to request. It's not something that they do on, like, a regular blood test.
Okay.
You have to specifically ask for them to test for your testosterone. And most insurances charge out the ass for it. I don't know why. They just do. But it is a game changer. If you start taking testosterone, like I give myself shots, okay, once every 10 days, and it's a game changer. I'm 52 years old, and I'm probably in some of the best shape of my life. Granted, yes, I had a motorcycle accident, so I'm struggling with some shit like that. But otherwise, I've got more muscle and more fat, more muscle and less fat than I had in my 30s.
Huh.
So it really, really does help with everything. I mean, it's a game changer. So get yours tested. Noah, get yours tested. Everybody out there, if you're over 40, get yours tested. And then if you need it, take it. It's a game changer. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate the call. And you know what's funny is, ironically, this weekend, I don't have my son this weekend, and so I was kind of like thinking, like, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do this weekend? And of course, I looked at the drive-in because we're still in drive-in season. The weather here in St. Louis has turned so gorgeous. I got back from PulpitFest, and it was just like, oh, the skies parted, or the clouds parted, and God shone down on St. Louis, and the weather here has been wonderful. Like, I think today the high was maybe like 75, and it's getting down in the 60s in the evening, so it's fabulous. It's wonderful right now. And so I was looking, and what does the drive-in have? And on the one screen they have the newest Conjuring movie, followed by Weapons, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not a horror guy, and I haven't seen any of the other Conjuring movies, so I'm really not going to do that. And quite frankly, the idea of sitting outside, open and exposed like that, and watching a horror movie, it's like, oh, God, I'm going to give myself a heart attack doing that. But the other screen is showing Twister and Twisters 2, or Twisters. Not Twisters 2, whatever. The two Twister movies. They're showing a double feature of the two Twister movies. And I was kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, God, do I really want to do that? Because, like, they showed those like crazy last summer when the new one came out. And it's like, is it worth it for me to go and do those? But you know what? You just brought up Mr. England. And now I'm sitting here thinking, like, maybe I'll go see Twisters. Or Twister. I'll go see the two Tornado movies. Just so that I can see if I can find Mr. England in there, now that you pointed out. And you know what? Based off that story, man, with everything he did tracking the tornado and figuring it out before everybody else, he should be revered in Oklahoma because that's a big damn deal. And you guys get so many tornadoes through there that, that's an important thing to have. So I think that's pretty awesome. As for your other point about testosterone, that is good to know. So I'm going back to the doctor beginning of October. Yes, very beginning of October. And, talking about a few things. And so, we'll go ahead and see if we can add that into the mix. See if we can add that in and get that taken care of. Because why not? I mean, if it's low, then let's adjust and take care of it. And if it's not, well, at least we know, and we can move on with life. So I appreciate the input there, Chris. All right, we got a couple more calls here. Oh, my gosh. This person called multiple times, so we're going to start with the first one.
Hey, Nick, this is Danny out of Shreveport.
What's up, Danny?
So calling with two things. First off, I want to put the record straight on wild chickens. So everybody says no one knows where a wild chicken comes from. So they came from China. So the story goes that 10,000 years ago, they were in Southeast Asia, China, Thailand, Vietnam area, And basically, they were big birds that you could catch. They domesticated, and then there was the Silk Road going to Europe and the Roman Empire, all that going on. So they spread far and wide. So I wanted to set the record straight. There is not a wild chicken because we've been domesticating them so long, but we do have creatures that we know the chicken came from. And the second thing is an idea, possibly for PulpitFest next year.
Okay.
So I know we've got the Aladino Mug Challenge.
Yes.
And something that you could do is you could make a calendar of the 12 best photos from the Mug Challenge if you get some good ones. And then that could be another thing, either a fundraiser, giveaway, something like that. Anyways, had a great time at PulpitFest, and I'll see you next year at least. And make sure you hit me up for PCA. I'd love to go there. So anyway, stay safe, stay smoky.
Dude, I appreciate the idea. I appreciate you coming to PulpitFest. We got to sit next to each other at the VIP dinner, and that was pretty cool. Talk about a few things. And I could tell, you had a great time. I'm sorry I missed you. I thought I was going to maybe see you a little bit on Sunday, but I don't recall doing so. I don't know. I might have missed you. Or maybe I'm just forgetting, because it's possible. It's very possible. As for the chicken thing, that kind of vibes or jives with what Dakota was saying too. So I do think we have cracked the code on the wild chicken situation. But yeah. As for the Aladino mug thing, Trey-Mac, if you're listening, an Aladino mug calendar, maybe consider that. I like that idea. If you're not going to do it, I'm going to steal it. So anyway, we have a couple more calls here.
Hey, Nick, this is Danny again from Shreveport.
Hey.
And I just wanted to call because it's funny. I was at PulpitFest, so I didn't catch up on some of these episodes, and I just realized that I gave you the same talk that Dakota gave you on the wild chickens and Ask the Pulpit call.
You did.
So shout out to Dakota because he beat me to that. But, I guess this is the downside of going to PulpitFest. Sometimes you miss some of these things. Anyways, stay safe, stay smoky.
But is it truly a downside? I mean, only because I guess you called in and gave me that information and whatever. I guess that would be a downside. But you went to PulpitFest. It's not really much of a downside when you actually go to PulpitFest. So anyway, we have one more call here from Danny.
Hey, Nick, this is Danny one more time. So I'm going through my humidor when I got back from PulpitFest, and I have a question. So I was drinking a lot during PulpitFest, and I don't quite remember where this came from.
Okay.
But I have a sticker for BF Chicken's Lucha Wrestling and Cockfighting League.
Yep.
I was hoping you could shed some details. I'm really hoping I didn't get mixed up in something when I was, a little more drunk than I normally get. So looking forward to the next Ask the Boys now, because this is, I don't remember getting this. I don't know where this came from. So just wanted to double check. So stay safe and stay smoky.
So that sticker, my friend, is the first of what is going to be a very limited run of limited edition stickers, pulpit-related stickers. Cigar guys tend to love stickers for some reason, and I don't really know why. But yet, then again, I have my travel humidor over here with, I think, like 7 stickers all over it. It's just one of those things. We just plaster things with stickers. And so I wanted to make some stickers, and so I made this sticker. And for, if you're a more recent listener, maybe it's been a minute since the BF chicken has been brought up and talked about. So, we have the BF chicken, and the BF chicken is, hi, it's the BF chicken. He's a chicken, and his thing is that when he clucks, it's kind of bark 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 bark. So it's a buffalo chicken, and so anyway, for a while, the BF chicken was a fairly prominent part of the show, making appearances and clucking and things of that nature. It was funny. Took a humidor tour at a couple places. I mean, it was a good time. But then the BF chicken, he got in a bit of a row with Al Roman of the Good Cigar podcast and now the Good Cigar Lounge down there in Texas. And Al, he left his hat in St. Louis. And Mr. Chicken here stole the hat. And kept the hat as ransom. This is all over my Instagram. If you go back, oh God, it's going to be a while. We're talking like, this could be nearly 5 years. Oh my God, this could be 5 years ago. If you go back a ways, he took the hat ransom, and eventually, and there was a back and forth. BF held it at gunpoint. It got really kind of crazy for a while, but eventually the hat was returned to Al, and the Chicken had to run away to Mexico to escape law enforcement. And when he did, that's when BF got involved with a underground cockfighting and lucha libre league, and that sticker would be the logo for the underground lucha libre and cockfighting league. So that's the story of the BF Chicken. There were other characters, that were around back then. Things were so much easier when it was audio only, guys. Like, honestly, adding video has just complicated my life so much. When it was only audio, I had more fun. It was a little more cracked out. We had Larry the Mute come along and doing his cigarello and gas station cigar reviews. We had Pastor Barnaby Rothschild of the Church of the Holy Perdomo, giving his various sermons. We had all sorts of different characters there for a little while that, these guys are just camera shy. And, when we started doing the video, it just kind of didn't work. So I actually look back a little longingly for the audio only days because, I think it would be nice to be able to do that again, but such is life. Anyway, so yeah, dude, you didn't get involved in cockfighting and lucha libre league while a little inebriated. That was me providing you guys with the sticker. And for those of you who didn't attend Pulpit Fest, but you would like to get your own BF Chicken sticker, I will be making a post here sometime soon to announce that I'm taking sales of that, or I'm doing sales of that sticker. I'm not looking to make a ton of money. I basically need to make the money back on the printing of the stickers and for the postage. So, realistically, if stickers are your thing, then you can get one. I'm not, like I said, I'm not bleeding the bank here for it or anything like that. I just gotta get the post. I mean, for fuck's sake, do you guys know what a stamp costs these days? Maybe I missed it, because I'll be honest, I have a shit ton of Forever stamps in there that I bought a long time ago, and I'm still sitting on those. And also, for my newspaper, I pay a different rate, and quite frankly, I don't, I pay attention to that. I don't pay attention to the price of just a normal postage stamp. I had no earthly idea that postage stamps were up to 78 cents until recently. And that just blows my mind. And I just, for the love of God, I am sitting here right now, hand to God, waiting on a package that was shipped from Chicago, Illinois, 4.5 hours north of me. It was shipped on August 22nd. And here I sit on September 4th, in the evening of September 4th. And this package has yet to arrive. It arrived at the St. Louis package distribution plant on August 29th. From there, it says that it is en route to other facilities, and it will not tell me what facility, and it's been that way since August 29th. So I don't know where my package is. I don't know why it took 7 days to get from Chicago to St. Louis. I don't know why it's now taking another, 6 days? 6 days to bop around to other facilities. I don't know where my package is. Chris, buddy, I know that, we had you on talking about the post office that one time, but son of a bitch, man, it just continues to get worse. And the 78 cents, for a stamp It's just embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing when you look at the quality of service that you're getting from the mechanism of the post office. Again, I'm not blaming a single individual. I'm saying the whole damn system is broken, and I don't know what to do about it at this point. It's out of control. But anyway, that's a long rabbit hole for me to go down to talk about that. Yes, I'm going to be selling the BF Chicken, Lucha Libre, and cockfighting stickers here soon. I think I have 50 of them available, so they're super limited. But yeah, if you guys are interested in that, be watching the socials. And when I post that, you'll want to pounce on it quickly because they, like I said, super limited amount. But anyway, we have one more call here, and then we will wrap up this edition of Ask the Pulpit.
Hey, Mr. Miller, this is listener Jay calling. First
What's
of all,
up?
congratulations on a very successful PulpitFest. Hopefully you can make it down next year. Been to the ones in St. Louis, and they're always fun. So, got a question about lounge etiquette. Went to a local lounge in the Chicagoland area, and I found a cigar that I was looking for. Got told her that wasn't behind glass, wasn't locked up, was on the floor, had a skew on it. You know, for sale, everything like that. Pretty rare, but got it, went up to the register, and kind of got scolded by the worker by saying, hey, you need to tell me when you get this and ask for it and stuff like that. Did I do anything wrong? Do you think there's something different? It's just weird because it was in the humidor. Again, not locked up behind the case, nothing special about it. Knew where it was at, got told by another worker where it was at last time I was there. So, what's your opinion on it? Just want to know. Stay smoky. Thank you.
What's up, Mr. J? So, all right, I'm processing this. So, obviously, different shops have different rules. You know, most of the shops that I go to, in fact, I'm trying to think. I think there's maybe only 2 that I've been to in my life where you have to involve the staff in the situation. Most of the time, it's an open humidor, and you go in, you peruse around, you find what you want, and you take it to the cash register, and they ring you out. If they're worried about theft, then those places will have cameras, you know, available or up and on the walls. Additionally, they might have staff working the humidor, kind of watching, you know, the activity in there. But it's not like it's like oppressive. It's not like a police state. It's just one of those things where there just happens to be an employee in there assisting. I can't say, with the exception of one place, that I've ever felt like I was being watched as a potential criminal. And to be honest, that place is out of business now. The folks were old and they retired. No, I lied. I just screwed that up with a different story. They were old, but they did not retire. The landlord was not renewing their lease because he didn't want the smoking in there anymore. They couldn't find somewhere else to go, so they just ended up selling or closing down and selling off their inventory and stuff. But to be honest, like I said, I went there one time. It was a super disorganized humidor. There were signs all over the place. If you want to ride in the back of a police car, go ahead and steal. You know, smile, you're on camera, things of that nature. I mean, it was very oppressive feeling, and the way that the lady behind the cash register was glaring at me the whole time, it was kind of like I did not get the friendly vibe that she wanted me there spending money. And the sad part is I did spend money. I still bought 2 cigars from them, even though I was made to feel that way, because that's just kind of my cross to bear. Typically, when I step into a small business and I'm looking around, I always try to find something to purchase, even if it's just a small token thing. In this case, I distinctly remember one of the 2 cigars that I bought were one of the Perdomo cigars that they paired with beer. It had like a glass of beer on the label, and it paired with a beer, and I don't remember which one, but yeah, that was the one and only time I ever had one of those Perdomo beer cigars. Anyway, so yeah, so then there's two other shops I've been to where, okay. There's two shops that I've been to where I guess three technically now that I think about it, because that one, I'm going to count the one with the menu. Four, but they did let me in. I'm sorry. I'm thinking this through as I go. So there's two in the St. Louis area, one in the St. Louis area, one in Indianapolis, another one in Indianapolis where they give you a menu and you order your cigar off the menu. Now, I did request to actually go into the humidor, and I went in and I looked around, and the gentleman followed me in there and kind of hung out with me. Again, I didn't feel like it was oppressive or anything like that. It was just, I wanted to look at it. And then there was a place out in D.C. That I went, and they provided me a menu, and I ordered off the menu there. But aside from that, every other place I've ever been, you go in, they have the cigars, you buy you pick up what you want, you take it to the register, and you buy it. Like you said, maybe there are some behind in a cabinet that you have to tell them, hey, I'd like to get one of these, and they open it up and you take what you want. But yeah, so I guess my question to you is, was this the first time you were in this lounge? Obviously not, because you said somebody else had said something about something the last time you were there. So I guess my thing is, are they just giving you mixed signals as to how to do it? Because I don't get the feeling based off your call that, you want to do something that's against their system. Whatever their system is, I feel like you want to, play by the rules and take part and do it the way that you should do it. But for some reason, you're feeling confused. And I feel like the fact that you as the consumer are feeling confused about how to purchase cigars from them, means that they are doing something bad as a business. They are failing as a business because they are making it difficult for you, the consumer, to give them money. They're making it confusing for you as the retailer or the consumer to give them, the retailer, money. And that is the last thing a business should possibly do. Do not make it difficult, for me to give you my money. And it sounds like they're doing that. And so I don't know what the answer is there, man. I don't know what the conundrum. I mean, like I said, without knowing their purchasing rules, regulations, preferences, I can't tell you if you did something wrong. Only they can really do that. But if they tell you that, I think at this point, if you choose to go back there, I think at this point what you need to do is, hey guys, this is what happened last time. This is what happened the time before. I'm getting mixed signals. I need to know how you want me to approach the product and tell you what I want. Do you want me to go into the humidor, look around, come out and tell you I want this, this, and this? Do you not want me to go in the humidor and you want me to order off a menu? Do you want me to go in the humidor and pick up things and bring it to you at the cash register? Whatever it is, they need to tell you directly because it's confusing and it's causing you as a consumer to feel like you're doing something wrong. And that is the last thing in the world any business should want to make you feel. So anyway, I hope that kind of rambling answer helped. I don't know if it did or not, but I'm hoping it did. I had a point. I just hope I actually put it out there coherently. Anyway, guys, this has been some Ask the Pulpit. I really do appreciate all the calls. I love that it's a nice mix of chicken talk and PulpitFest stuff and legit, like cigar stuff and everything. I love these shows. So keep your calls coming. Give me a call on the hotline, area code 863-874-0000. All right. I have been enjoying this 1985. And you know, it's. I'm not gonna knock it. I'm not. It's. This may sound worse than it is. It's not perhaps the most complex cigar I've ever had in my life, but it is a very pleasant cigar. I enjoy it. The flavor on it is nice. It's a cigar, but it smokes really well. Burn line wise, it's really tight. The ash holds together pretty well. It's a nice little smokestack, kicks off a lot of smoke, and you know, you get a lot of time out of it because of the length. So honestly, I have 2 more of these little VHS sets inside with another 10 cigars in them. Quite frankly, there is the distinct possibility before these are gone that I'm going to order some more because I actually really do enjoy this cigar quite a bit. So for what it's worth, if you're looking for just a really solid, good cigar, the 1985 from TwoGuysCigars.com is a really good option for me. I mean, I think it's wonderful. And I smoked one in the car on the way to my printer last week. And you get a lot of time out of it. I mean, guys, let's be real. I've been talking with you now for a little over an hour. Now, granted, I didn't light it right away, but, you know, I've got still quite a bit of cigar left. So, and the other thing, with the exception of me just hitting it just now, just to give it a little bit more flame, I have not had to relight this guy. It's kept its going, and that counts for a lot. So, anyway, let's do this now. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. All right, so what have I been watching lately? I have been watching. I've been marathoning The West Wing. That's been kind of my go-to show. I've been very busy since getting back. It takes a lot to prep to go on a trip. Getting everything kind of lined up, you know, newspaper-wise, podcast-wise, getting everything lined up. It takes a lot getting all that taken care of. But then, I'm so sorry. From there, it takes a lot getting reacclimated to life, hitting the ground running again, getting back into it. I mean, guys, you know, I landed Monday night from PulpitFest, not this past Monday, but the Monday prior. And the next day I'm putting a newspaper together. And then the next day after that I'm delivering it. And then the next day after that I'm catching up on all the other shit that I have to catch up on. And then I had my son over the weekend. And then comes Monday and I'm already pulling articles together for the paper. And then Tuesday I'm laying out the paper. Then Wednesday I'm delivering the paper and doing everything else. And then now Thursday evening, you know, after an entire day of cleaning and billing and all kinds of other stuff, now I'm sitting down and recording this. So I kind of feel like I haven't had a moment to really stop and chill for the most part. And so when that happens, I don't really watch a lot of new stuff. I tend to go back and hit some of the old stuff that I know that I like. And so, you know, I did start a rewatch of The Sopranos, but that kind of got put on hold because Facebook was feeding me reels of The West Wing. And for whatever reason, I was like, man, I really liked that show before. And so I just started watching it, and now I've just been blowing through that. So I'm in the 5th season of The West Wing. The only other thing that I can say that I've been watching lately was, you know, I've kept up on and I've been watching wrestling. Dave's got me watching the wrestling. So I've been watching the AEW wrestling, which that's been fun. I mean, it's pretty mindless too. You know, I kind of turn it on and, watch people have their feuds with one another, and it's fun for sitting and having a couple of cigars and watching that. So, so I've been enjoying that. It's been kind of nice, but otherwise, I do want to check out the one podcast that Ken mentioned the one time he was on, the telepathy tapes. I heard a little bit more about that recently, and I do need to catch up and listen to that. I did listen to an episode of a podcast. Hang on, let me look this up so I can get this right. It was called, it's a show called Astonishing Legends, and they had an episode all about the Hat Man. Apparently they have a couple of different episodes about the Hat Man. Now, this is also a throwback for those of you who have been listening to this for quite a while. I've had some night terrors in the past, and one of the night terrors that I've had, in fact, I've had this one a couple of different times, where I'll wake up and I'll see my bedroom, and mind you, I 100% feel like mentally, I will swear, hand of God, that I was awake. I can see my full bedroom, but in the corner, there's a man standing there in the first time it was a tuxedo and a top hat. Every other time since then, it's been a tuxedo, an overcoat, and a top hat, standing in the corner, staring at me as I'm sleeping. It's unsettling as shit. I hate it. Thankfully, knock on wood, it hasn't happened in a handful of years. But yeah, I've had probably 3 different night terrors, all with the Hat Man. And I mentioned this on a show. This was a while ago. This was quite a while ago. And listener Lupe from Chicago, called into the Ask the Pulpit hotline and told me that, hey man, that's like an actual phenomenon. That's something that like a lot of people have encountered. Well, that put me down a rabbit hole. And sure enough, the Hat Man is a legit phenomenon. Lots of people have reported seeing a man in a hat standing in their room watching them while they sleep. So needless to say, it's more than a little upsetting when you realize that your dream is not just your dream. It's your dream that is shared by, tons of other people that are all reporting over the years that they've encountered this. Some have encountered him in a fedora, some in a farmer's hat, some in this, whatever. Typically, he's always standing. The episode that I listened to on the Astonishing Legends podcast, the guy wrote in and talked about how the Hat Man was sitting in the chair. And his story was really weird because I'm just going to spoil it for you for a split second. So this guy woke up, went to the bathroom, did his business, came back to the bedroom, and that's when he saw the Hat Man sitting in the chair in the corner of the bedroom, looking at him, wearing like farmer's hat and everything. And he said, and the way he described him is so perfect. How like you can see him and you can kind of make out some detail, but it's not detail. Like you can't make out detail, but you can tell it's not just a flat shadow. The host of that show kind of described it like, if you remember those old iPod commercials where it was like the bright color background and the silhouette person dancing to the music or whatever. It's very similar to that in that they take, they have somebody and they up the contrast and all, and so you have detail, but you can't make out facial features and things of that nature. And so, anyway, this guy, apparently his reaction was something going back to his childhood. He just stared at the floor, walked right past the Hat Man and got back into bed and went to bed. Now, how the hell he pulled that off, I have no idea, but that's what he said he did. And so, anyway, it's easy to dismiss as a dream when you just wake up, open your eyes, and there he is standing there. But it's another thing when you actually get up, go to the bathroom, and come back to bed. I do that, and I mean, I'm awake when I come back to bed. Now I can fall asleep quickly because I'm not fully. I mean, maybe I'm discounting myself right there. I'm not fully awake, but or at least I'm open to going back to sleep quickly. But man, Not if I'm seeing somebody sitting in my room that shouldn't be there. I'm definitely not going to be going back to sleep quickly at that point. But anyway, Astonishing Legends. They've got a ton of episodes about a whole bunch of different paranormal stuff, but they have a multitude of episodes about the Hat Man. And I've been doing a little deep diving into that because, let me tell you, that one hits a little close to home with me. And then the last thing I should mention that I've been entertained by, if you have not checked out the Cigar Authority after show that came out on Wednesday, please do so. Dave and Ed give their whole recap of PulpitFest, and it's fun to hear their thoughts and opinions. Although I will say, I think the best part of the trip was actually Buc-ee's for Dave. I think Dave enjoyed Buc-ee's probably more than PulpitFest. But, you know, I'll be honest, I truly enjoy Buc-ee's a lot too. So, you know, maybe I can't blame him. So, anyway, that's that. Let's move on and do this now. It's time to fly high with Blackbird Cigars. Blackbird Cigars offers you remarkable quality using the most delicate and finest tobacco to always ensure that you're receiving unsurpassed cigars. Blackbird Cigars strives to give you undoubted repeating flavor for every cigar you smoke and impressive quality so that you can always expect greatness. Check out their website for a full list of stores carrying Blackbird Cigars and give them a test flight. Blackbird Cigars, can't clip our wings. Alrighty, well, let's bring this up. At age 64, Diana Niad became the first person to swim from Cuba to Florida without a shark cage. She had tried and failed 4 times before, facing jellyfish stings, storms, and exhaustion, but she refused to give up. On September 2nd, 2013, after swimming for 53 hours straight across 110 miles of open ocean, she staggered onto the shore of Key West, Florida. With lips swollen, body trembling, and skin blistered from salt and jellyfish, she looked at the cheering crowd and said, "Never ever give up. You're never too old to chase your dreams." It wasn't just a personal victory. It inspired millions of people around the world who felt like their time had passed, showing that persistence and determination can defy age and limits. So be like Diana Niad and Blackbird Cigars, and don't let anybody clip your wings. I hope I pronounced her last name correctly. It's Nyad. I did a little Google pronunciation thing, and that's how they told me to do it. So hopefully I didn't butcher that too much. Alrighty, well, it's time to talk about the socials. I am available on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. I am on Facebook, where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. You can get in on the fun there and take part in everything. I'm on Twitter/X. You can watch this on Rumble and YouTube. And if you use Spotify to listen to your podcast, I also do Spotify videos, so you can watch this on Spotify as well. Otherwise, guys, I think that's a show. Again, I do love the Ask the Pulpit episodes. Keep the calls coming. I'm loving hearing from people that I always hear from. I'm loving hearing from new people that I've never heard from. You know, keep the calls and everything coming in. This is fantastic, and you know, we can keep this going. It's always nice and always good for when I need to do an episode and I don't really have anything specific to talk about. I'm building out my calendar. Now that PulpitFest is over with, you know, I'm going to start building out the calendar a little bit, and hopefully we can have some things scheduled. I will say I did look at the calendar, and I determined. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it here. I did look ahead through the end of the year, and I did notice that I have an episode dropping on Halloween this year. So that could be fun, and I need to figure out something I can do with that. I think that's an opportunity I should not pass up. So I do have an episode dropping on Halloween and on Veterans Day as well. Otherwise, you know, we're around Thanksgiving, around Christmas, around New Year's, but no, Halloween and Veterans Day, I am dead on the day. So anyway, that's that. So, guys, thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate it. And this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Everybody stay safe and stay smoky. Oh, and definitely try the 1985. Dude, for $60 for a 5-pack or $100 for 2 5-packs, so 10. It's a good cigar. It is a fine cigar. Is it the best cigar you've ever smoked? I don't know, maybe. I'm digging it. I'm digging it a lot. Is it the most complex cigar you've ever smoked? Maybe not. But it is a very, very good cigar. Highly recommend it. And you can get it over there at twoguyscigars.com. Anyway, guys, take it easy. Thanks so much. Later.